Hi friends! It has been a long time, I know. I have been trying to make this update for more months than I can count. I've totally lost track of it. But I'm finally doing it, and I decided to just do it regardless of how I'm feeling at the moment. And I don't think I even got the lighting very well, but I'm just going to go for it. So thanks for bearing with me. I'm also just going to go ahead and read you guys the update because I hit my head the other night and I'm still a little loopy, so I just want to read you what I have here instead of try to waste time by word recall issues and all of that. So thanks for bearing with me. Here is my update. Hello friends, I just wanted to thank you for all your support, love, and generosity. It has meant far more than words can communicate. It truly has. Life has been quite painful, and I have honestly found it so difficult to keep my hopes up in the day in and day out fight to both hold ground and attempt to gain ground. But even in the darkest of days, I can say that God never fails to preserve and keep me through each moment. I want to share a few quick updates and let you know what the current needs are. My dog Sonara has been adapting a bit better to sleeping in her crate and absolutely loves the snow. Whenever we get any snow, she runs outside and begins to eat it up like icing. She is still in need of a great deal of training, especially leash training, but I've had to leave that on hold. Sorry, it froze. I have to leave that on hold until I can find a bit more strength. But she did break out of her crate the other night, so now I need to find a solution for that. She's not very happy with the crate. Some of you may have heard that we had a few more wildfires recently. Not something I ever expected in the winter months. Thankfully, those are now out, which makes a huge difference with indoor air issues for me, but I'm praying about relocating to another place as soon as possible. The air quality in Highlands Ranch has been more than disappointing and has made me even more of a hermit than before. Apparently, this is due to temperature inversions. Look it up if you want a little science lesson. I haven't been able to purchase a high-end air purifier yet, as they range in price from $750 to $1,300. But I was so very blessed by the surprise unit that showed up on my front porch recently from a very kind anonymous friend. It makes a difference for my bedroom. So grateful. The other day, I found out that the Adrenal Supplement I depend on to even function at all is back-ordered, and the company has no idea when it will be available again. I'm about out of my current supply, so this has really given me an opportunity to trust God for healing and provision on a new level. I'm several months overdue on a follow-up appointment with my doctor, and I'm praying that may be possible soon as well. I'm still looking for an additional $50 a month to cover my recent rent increase, and don't yet know what my next rent amount will be once I move, but I'm expecting God to provide for that as well. Maybe it will even be less than my current rent. I now have new clues regarding underlying blocks to healing, so whatever funds I'm able to raise for treatment will enable me to start tackling some of that and see what progress can be made and ground reclaimed. I still believe God is the only one with the ability to put me back together and rebuild all that has been broken down. But I know that He can do this miraculously or through the hands of the medical help He has brought into my life, or a combination of both. I honestly believe that He has used each one of the good ones. I've had all kinds of doctors cross my path over the past 20 years, as many of you can probably relate to as well. Sorry, that was my parentheses. I'm like, this doesn't really make sense on screen, on camera. I honestly believe that He has used each one of the good ones to bring me to this point and sustain my life when I couldn't sustain it myself. If you're wondering a bit more about my journey health-wise or what daily life looks like, you can read more of my story here. I'll have a link. There's a hyperlink here, and I'll have a link that you guys can click on. If you're anything like me, you may not understand why I haven't seen more visible progress by now. It's something I wrestle with daily, but there are times in life where we can do everything right and still not be where we think we should. I'm learning the hard lesson of daily and moment-by-moment surrender, seeking to trust that He understands my timeline and the process when I do not. To those of you who continue to walk with me and extend your care, despite the timeline looking different than either one of us would like, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It is no small thing and speaks to your character, maturity, and heart. I am so deeply grateful, and as I begin to see the victories come and increase in the days ahead, they will be your victories too. In closing, I wanted to shake things up a bit with regards to financial support. Here are two new features. Number 1, if you would prefer to cover a specific item or appointment, you can pick something from the following list and designate that in the comment section when you give. If you want to avoid the GoFundMe fees, you could also purchase an item yourself and have it shipped here, or you can give by Venmo, PayPal, or check instead. Number 2, All donors will now receive a personal encouragement note in the mail for any amount given. Just send your mailing address to Abby by using the contact button at the bottom of the page. There are five designated gift categories that will be listed here that you guys can look at. One is the IQ Air Multi-Gas Air Purifier for $12.99. The other is the Robot Air A3 Air Purifier for $7.49. The other is a virtual doctor's appointment for $200, and the other is rent increase for $50 a month, and then wherever most needed. There are no words to thank you for all your support, whether that be financial, prayer, or just care. It all matters so deeply. It is a deeply humbling and difficult thing to be so dependent, but I am learning much from this journey, and I'm so excited for the day when I can help others more myself and step into all I was made for. I love you all. I wanted to close with a passage of scripture that God has really been encouraging me with lately. It's Isaiah 35 verses 1 through 6. The wilderness and the dry land shall be glad. The desert shall rejoice and blossom like the crocus. It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given to it, the majesty of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord, the majesty of our God. Strengthen the weak hands and make firm the feeble knees. Say to those who have an anxious heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance. With the recompense of God, he will come and save you. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf unstopped. Then shall the lame man leap like a deer, and the tongue of the mute sing for joy. For waters break forth in the wilderness, and streams in the deserts. And that passage, I could talk about it forever, but it speaks so much to the hope that we have that when we are weak and we don't have a way forward, like God is the one who will come and save us. He is the one who will cause the wilderness to blossom. His glory is about to be displayed in a way that none of us have ever seen, and it's gonna completely blow our minds. And I hope that gives you guys some encouragement and hope for wherever you find yourself, that his glory is about to pour forth, and he's gonna get you through. And not just get you through, but he's going to cause your life to blossom. So thank you all so much for just the way that you pray, you care, you support me, and even just the grace to allow me to make the video this way, which is not my preference, but at least it's done. So I love you guys so much. Thank you again.